Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the We Were Athletes Once podcast. My name is Kyle and I am joined by Cody.
What's up?
And we are not talking about football today. This video is coming out on Monday, and this is normally the day we talk about football. But Sunday Night Football just ended in a tie, and tomorrow's games are horrible. So I don't want to talk about football yet. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, and we're just recapping everything. Um, Especially because today, again, as I say this, we're recording this on Sunday night. Today was the end of the MLB regular season. The postseason brackets are fully ready, and we can look ahead to the playoffs. And it looked absolutely nothing like it did last week when we recorded baseball. And these stats are out, so we can. I feel like we can finally take a look at Aaron Judge versus Cal Raleigh and have a full debate on what this might look like. Not obviously not a full debate because it's late, but
Cal Raleigh
uh,
and the
I
conversation.
I still think Aaron Judge will win it. But we'll talk about that. But first, we have to talk about this playoff bracket because there are two teams in here that we were not expecting to be in here, and it came from some of the worst collapses we've seen in a while. The Cleveland Guardians somehow found a way to win the AL Central. They went on a huge run at the end. I don't have in front of me exactly how many they won towards the end of the season. And the Tigers, who had the best record in baseball in the end of August, beginning of September, maybe, they just were horrible towards the stretch. And the only reason why they made it was because the Astros couldn't really come through when they needed to. Um, Cody, give me your thoughts on the Tigers before we talk about arguably the worst ones.
Well, if you remember my playoff predictions, I had the Tigers losing in the first round, I guess second round, since they were supposed to have a first round bye. Um, so I saw this collapse happening. We saw through stretches of the season where they went completely ice cold and couldn't hit for a while. And honestly, without Tarek Skubal pitching as the Cy Young champion that he will be again, um, they're just an okay team. So it doesn't shock me all that much that they're having a collapse, but the kind of collapse that they had is shocking that they could drop that many games that quickly. But with that being said, this is the biggest comeback in Major League history. Before this year, the biggest comeback or the biggest deficit anyone has overcome to win the division title was 14 games at any point during the season. And Cleveland just from the end of July to now overcame a 15 and a half game deficit, setting a major league record. That's absolutely insane. This team is on fire, and if their pitching can hold up and their bullpen can play okay, this is a team that's very hot and very dangerous right now in Cleveland.
If I'm counting correctly, the Guardians finished or the Guardians went 19-3 in
That's
September.
insane. Well, and on top of that, who are they playing in the first round? Each other. So it's going to be a fun one.
The Tigers, I believe.
Here, I'll post. I'll put it on the screen for you. There it is.
I
Tigers are playing Cleveland in round one.
If my counting is correct, the Tigers went 5-18 and the Guardians went 19-3 in September.
That's crazy.
Um, Cleveland had exactly what they needed to, and Detroit did not. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Is that their pitching kind of fell apart towards the end of the season. Uh, they had a couple surprising all stars that end up not really helping their offense towards the end of the season. I don't think anyone was really expecting this though. Like I think
No.
you could kind of bank on a refresher going into the playoffs for them, and we saw a world where maybe they didn't end up with a bye. But even last week, what they played 10 games since our last episode. They were, I think, 6 games ahead, 7 games ahead.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, and the next thing I knew, I didn't really start paying attention to it until I figured out the Guardians were 1 game back
Well, and we
with
haven't even
five.
talked about the other part of this, and that's that the Houston Astros are not in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is the first time I believe since 2015 that they missed the playoffs.
Well, and that was a team that has a ton of postseason experience that could be dangerous in the postseason, and they're not even there. I think a lot of teams in the AL are licking their chops right now because they don't have to go deal with Houston. And I think the AL is completely wide open right now.
Yeah, I obviously my World Series pick is still
Seattle.
in. Yours was Seattle.
Mine's Seattle. And I think they have a great opportunity to do it.
I think at this point, Boston and Seattle are probably the two teams that I feel the best about.
Well, here's the thing, though. If I'm not mistaken, MLB reseeds every after the first round, don't they?
I believe it's just a bracket.
Okay, I thought they reseeded because if they reseeded and Boston won and Cleveland won, Seattle would get Boston. Oh no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Lower seed would go to one. So it would only be if Detroit won. But I would have to look into that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I believe at this point it's just a bracket. Uh, which
No, they don't. You're right.
Yeah, so I love both of their paths. Cleveland only
Yeah,
or Seattle only has to win 1 game. If they play against Cleveland, I mean Cleveland is obviously a scrappy team.
and they're
They've
hot.
came in clutch and they are the hottest team in baseball right now.
Yep.
So that might be tough. Um, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just floored that this is how this turned out.
It's crazy. I see. Let's just look at the AL real quick. I think there's no way. I mean, it's one game. Anybody can win one game, and Cleveland's got to beat Tarek Skubal. But they've done it. Like there was a one game wins all before, and Cleveland beat Tarek Skubal. I believe Lane Thompson hit hit a granny or a 3 run home run off of him.
Lane Thomas, yeah, hit a
Lane
grand
Thomas,
slam.
sorry, Lane Thomas hit a home run off of him that put him over the top. So it's not like Cleveland can't beat Tarek Skubal, um, but it's gonna be tough. Like Tarek Skubal can any night of the week go complete game shutout. So I think that's going to be an interesting one game. Um, I just don't see the Yankees beating Garrett Crochet. I just don't see the Yankees beating anyone, honestly. Um, so I think we're going to see Seattle versus whoever, and I don't really care because once we get into series, I like Seattle's pitching over all of the pitching, whoever they're going to play, and I think you're right. I think Boston sets up real nice to play against the Blue Jays, even though the Blue Jays pitching has looked better. Um, I still think Boston's got a good, young, hungry team, and I like their offense a little bit better. Um, Outside of Vlad, I worry about the Blue Jays offense, so I'm a little iffy on them still. So I see this same way you do. I have a Seattle Boston AL Finals, but I'm still taking Seattle.
I look at Cleveland's pitching rotation, which is normally the thing that kind of drives them to their success, and their pitching rotation hasn't been great.
No,
Like all of their pitchers are kind of hovering around like a 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 ERA outside of Gavin Williams. Um, I mean Tanner Bybee has a 12-11 record with a 4.24 ERA.
Yeah, Parker Messick's been pretty decent for him, but you're relying on Gavin Williams, Parker Bybee, and Parker Messick or Tanner
Well,
Bybee. I don't know.
you want to rely on Gavin Williams, Tanner Bybee, and Logan Allen, but Logan Allen hasn't.
Has not been good.
Because Parker Messick is kind of a more recent addition, I believe, to the
He
Guardians.
has. He been brought up, but then his last 7 games, he's looked pretty good for them. So I think at this point in the season, you have to ride the hot hand, um, and I'm taking him over Logan Allen.
In terms of the Blue Jays, I still like the Blue Jays pitching
I do like
staff.
the Blue Jays pitching.
I think
It's on my list.
Max Scherzer, Shane Bieber. It's not going to be this rotation. It's going to be Shane Bieber, uh, Jose Barrios, which Jose Barrios is on the IL, isn't he?
Uh,
Sorry, guys. Um, yeah.
yes.
So if Kevin Gossman, Shane
Elbow.
Bieber, and Max Scherzer, and
I
then
mean,
outside of
don't
that,
sleep on that though.
that's
Kevin
a good
Gausman's as good as anybody.
that's a good top three. I just think the Red Sox have a better top three, and the
Yeah,
Mariners are deeper.
I love the Mariners staff. I think it's the best in baseball.
If the Mariners are going to get a deep playoff run and going to get to a World Series, this is the year they have to do it.
Because you even look at it, most playoff teams, they're running 3 or 4 pitchers, starters. The Mariners, if they do that, they run four, they still have a legit fifth starter that can go in and eat innings at any point in time during this series.
Yeah, in terms of because it doesn't really change a lot for you, does it? In terms of your playoff bracket,
Um, where did we have Houston before?
I had Houston as the six, or
I
no,
didn't. I didn't.
I
You had Houston
I had
overtaking
Houston winning the
Seattle.
division. Yeah,
I did not.
I
So
think
they
you
would
had
have
them as the
been
six.
they would have been 6 for me, 6 or 5.
I think you had them
Um,
playing the Tigers and then getting eliminated by the Tigers. Or no, you had them
no, I had
beating
them beating
you had
the
them beating the
Tigers,
Tigers.
and that was it. So I just had them winning one round. So it doesn't really affect me all that much. Now I'm gonna take Detroit over Cleveland just because I'm not betting against Tarek Skubal. So I'm gonna take Skubal shutting down Cleveland. And then I'm going to take Seattle winning that series. I'm going to take Boston and Garrett Crochet over the Yankees. And then I'm going to have Boston beat out Toronto, which will give me an ALCS of Seattle and Boston. And I'm still taking Seattle to go to the World Series.
You would have yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I think our AL playoff picture looks the same now.
Are you taking Detroit
I am. Yeah.
and you're taking
Just
Boston?
because it's a 3-game series. Like it's going to be hard to beat Detroit in a 3-game series
Yeah.
with Scooble. You don't want to say guaranteeing cuz it was like this last year, but you got
I'm
a
not
pretty good
betting against him.
you got a pretty good shot with Tarek Skubal going in a 3-game series. Um,
And then you're
let's
taking
move on.
Boston.
Let's move on to the other collapse. Um,
It's amazing.
because the New York Mets,
Are
we
not in the playoffs.
yeah we had issues with how they looked after the deadline. We love the moves that they made,
They
but
just all imploded.
they all imploded. Ryan Helsley was terrible for the Mets. Uh,
Every reliever outside of
someone,
Edwin Diaz was bad for the Mets.
yeah, someone was consistently blowing games. The big three I don't believe was ever hot at the same time. I think they all had their great moments, but I think either Lindor struggled at times or Alonso struggled or both. I don't think Soto ever really went on
I don't
too much
know,
of a
but the
cold
Reds
spell.
did them a favor today by losing before they played, and all they had to do was beat the Marlins to get in. and they proceeded to get shut out by Miami to keep them out of the playoffs. That's unacceptable. You
Yeah,
have
they
like a
were.
$500 million team, and you can't beat the Miami Marlins in one game to get to the playoffs. It should have never gotten to this point, and I love this collapse because screw the Mets. Oh, and on
You just
top of
hate
it,
everyone on the Mets.
I can't stand the Mets. I do not like Juan Soto. I hate Pete Alonso. Oh yeah, and speaking of him, he opted out, so he is now a free agent.
Yeah, it was about 15 minutes after the game ended. Pete Alonso announced he was going to be opting out of
He
his
said,
deal,
"Deuces, I'm tired of this."
which I think everyone expected.
Yeah,
It was a rough free agency for a lot of people, and Pete Alonso was one of them. And so he didn't get the contract that he wanted, and we all knew that. And he signed a 2-year deal with the Mets with an opt out after the first year. I think, regardless of how this season looked, I'm assuming, or everyone was assuming he was going to opt out because he
yeah,
can get more than 20 million in the open market.
yeah. And the real question is, are they going to pony up and pay him, or are they going to let him walk? Because I don't think he's going to play this game again with New York like he did this summer, where he wanted to stay and they kind of drug him along and gave it to him last minute. I think if someone offers him a multi-year deal, that's 3 to 5 years and big money, he's going to take it and not look back. And I think there's plenty of teams out there who are willing um, to have a guy like him who's just going to mash and hit bombs, and maybe he'll play some first base, maybe he'll DH for you down the road once he gets a few years older. Um, but the bat plays.
I don't know if the Mets will give him what he wants, but I think the Mets will be willing to give him more than anyone else will.
Maybe.
Like, I think he will stay.
Unless some team just gets desperate, like maybe the Reds say, screw it. We need someone who can hit. This is a tiny ballpark. If he hits a pop up, it might leave this place. And pay him a big contract to come be their bat in the middle. Because who's on the books for him? Nobody. They're not paying anybody.
I've been saying that for the entirety of this podcast, like since episode 1, that in the offseason the Reds need to go out and make a splash.
A couple.
And a couple, yeah, but if they get Pete Alonso
Bats, and they're
in
going to
that
be good.
ballpark, that'll be
They're going to
huge.
be. It's going to suck to be a Cardinals fan in the Central, more so than usual of us not spending money and it being terrible. Um, but if the Reds get good and start winning this division, that's just going to be not fun. And all it takes is them to go out and spend a little bit of money and get two minimum bats that can be in the middle of that lineup, and they're going to be good. It's going to be a problem.
I will say, however, in terms of the playoff picture, I don't think this changes anything.
No, the
We
Dodgers are
had
going to
the
beat the
Mets.
Reds,
We had the Mets as the 6th seed. I think we
and we
both
have them
did,
losing.
and we both had them losing to the Dodgers.
Yep.
I think our NL already looked exactly the
We have
same,
the right order,
correct?
except for
Yeah.
the Mets out.
Well, I'm talking about like my what my NL bracket looked like and what your NL
Did
bracket looked
you
like.
pick the Dodgers to beat the Phillies?
I did.
I did not.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I lied. I did.
Yeah, I say I had a rematch of last year's NLCS,
That's
but I had
right.
it
We
flipped.
both had Dodgers, Padres. Did you have the Padres winning also?
Yeah, I had the
I also.
Padres. I had Padres Red Sox in the World Series.
Okay, and I have Padres, Mariners in the World Series. Are you keeping that?
I'm keeping that. I'm still to this day questioning if picking the Red Sox over the Padres is the right move.
Oh yeah, you took the Red Sox to win it all, and I've
Yeah.
got Seattle winning it all.
So we both
Oh
like
no
the
no no
Padres enough to go to the World Series.
no! Did I pick the Padres to win it?
I think you picked the Padres to win it.
Yes, I did. I think I did.
Did you? I don't
I
remember.
have it written down. I'd have to go look. I think I picked the Mariners to make it and the Padres to beat them.
I don't know. I
They're
remember I picked
just
the Red
they're
Sox
just
to win the
deep.
World
The Padres
Series.
are just so deep. It's hard to pick against them. I like that bullpen too much. Whether I pick the Padres or not, I'm picking them right now.
I think I might have picked the Padres.
I'm
I
taking
don't
the
know.
Broncos.
I I don't know.
You guys will have to go back and tell us who we picked.
Yeah,
Let us know in the
please do.
comments.
We're both dumb. Uh,
Speak for yourself.
you don't remember what you had either. Um, yeah. Okay. So since the season ended today, let's rehash this MVP race real quick because I think I know we both agree what should happen.
Yeah,
I
we
am not
think that Cal
saying
Raleigh should win the MVP.
I'm not saying that Cal Raleigh shouldn't win MVP. I'm saying he probably won't.
Cal Raleigh MVP.
I just don't see because if we are looking at the numbers that Aaron Judge had, Aaron Judge finished the season with a 331 batting average, 50, which is first in Major League Baseball, 53 homers, which is fourth, 137 runs scored, which is second, 124 RBIs, which is second, 36 intentional walks, which is the MLB record, a 457 on base, 688 slug, 1.144 OPS, 205 WRC plus, 10.1 FWAR. Uh, I mean, he led the league in everything. And
Again, I don't care. Cal Raleigh is the MVP.
when it comes to Cal Raleigh, the thing that pushes him over the top is he is also doing things that has never been seen before. He broke the Mariners all-time record in home runs, which was held by Ken Griffey
And
Jr.
Griffey Jr.
He broke the switch hitter record, which was held by Mickey Mantle.
Mickey freaking Mantle.
He broke the catcher home run record, which was held by Salvador Perez, has a shot at being a Hall of Famer at some point.
Salvador, I'm going to say it right now. Salvador Perez is a Hall of Famer.
So that's three big time names that he passed in three completely different home run categories. He had a shot at the AL record in general that Aaron Judge currently has. I mean, I don't think we'll ever see a catcher hit 60 home runs ever again.
Probably not. I mean, how many more times are we going to see someone hit 60 period in a season again?
I think I don't think this is the last.
Okay, let's go like this. How many to this day non steroid 60 home run seasons have there been?
There has been, I believe, four, including this one. I think Babe Ruth had one, Roger Maris had one, Aaron Judge had one. So I think Judge has 62, Maris has 61, Babe Ruth and Cal Raleigh both have 60.
So, based on what I'm seeing, people who had 60 plus Babe, Cal, Roger, Aaron, and then everyone else above them is Sosa, McGuire, and Bonds, those steroids.
Yeah.
Four people. We're talking about four people in the history of baseball have had clean 60 plus home run seasons. And on top of that, he led the league in home runs, RBIs. Oh, yeah. And he's a catcher backing the best pitching staff in baseball versus Aaron Judge, who had another really good season.
Historic season.
But you're talking about, I don't care. Because you can say historic season. You just listed off names that are legends in the sport that Cal Raleigh just beat out. And he did it at the most premium position in baseball, where
At
Aaron Judge
the
did it.
hardest at the hardest stadium to hit in.
Yes, 100%.
Arguably.
No, I'm not going to say arguably. It is the hardest place to hit. There are people who literally cannot hit in Seattle with that batter's eye. So hands down the hardest place to hit in baseball, I think. And Aaron Judge played some right field and a lot of DH. So I don't care how good he was at the plate. When someone put up better home run and RBI totals, and he did it at a premium position, and he broke historic legends' names on his way to do that, he is the MVP. End of conversation.
I think so. Normally, I think WAR is a pretty good stat. I do think it undervalues catchers in a lot of different
100%.
ways because Cal Raleigh, he was a Platinum Glove winner last year. This year, according to his defensive run saved and his defensive WAR and all that, he's been pretty average. But I saw a stat that he had like 12 framing runs, which is I think third or fourth in the league. He's also, like you said, he's behind the plate for a very young pitching staff, and they're one of the best in the league. And I don't think catchers have as much to say about that anymore, but I still think that's a very valuable tool. And when you're pairing that with, I don't care about RBIs, but when you pair that with a guy who's hitting a switch hitting catcher hitting 60 homers, um,
Again, 4 people now in the history of baseball have done it clean, and he is one of them.
I at the end I think Cal Raleigh deserves it. I think if you're looking at Aaron Judge's pure numbers, him leading Major League Baseball in everything except for home runs and RBIs, it's hard not for a voter not to vote for him. And especially with the fact that a lot of these voters have coastal bias.
They do, but here's the other thing. We've seen it in other sports. Like I think last year in football, was Josh Allen the MVP?
I would say no.
No, he shouldn't have won it. As much as I dislike Lamar, he had a better season, no question. And I think if Joe Burrow made the playoffs, he had the better season of all of them. But his team didn't make the playoffs, so he had no chance of winning. So, did the best player win the MVP? No. But I think there is some bias in it to where if someone has been consistently winning and there's a competition that someone else could win it, that voters do tend to have a little bit of wanting a little bit of change in their votes, and I think that could help Cal Raleigh as well. So we've seen Judge win multiple MVPs, and now you're talking about somebody who's competing with him, who's had an equally historic season, and something we'll probably never see again. And it's like, well, these were 2 really good seasons. Judge has had multiple. Will Cal Raleigh ever do this again? Let's give it to that guy. So I do think there's some of that could come into play. But if I'm a voter, this is a non-discussion for me. What I've seen from Cal Raleigh is so historic. I can't not vote for him.
I think what you're talking about with the NFL vote, I think there's some credence to that, but I think the issue that I have with that argument is the year before was an exact flip where
That's true.
Josh
That's
Allen
true.
deserved the MVP, but Lamar won it. And then last year Lamar deserved the MVP, but Josh Allen won it.
I think
I
Burrow won it, but
and they both well, Joe, they didn't make the playoffs.
that shouldn't matter.
You need to do that.
Shouldn't matter.
Um, in terms of this, uh, or with that discussion, the Bills and the Ravens have both kind of won the same amount over the past few years, and Josh Allen, it kind of felt like his turn, I guess, which I hate
It's
that.
stupid. It's
Um,
stupid. Who had the best season? That's what it should come down to. But here's the thing. This is what I don't like also. Is it is the MVP who had the best season, or is the MVP the most valuable player to their team?
But you
because
also have to think, what do certain people view as valuable?
what should certain people think is valuable and what do they are two very different things. I think if
Exactly.
you remove Cal Raleigh from this team, they struggle. Where's their offense coming from? But I think you can make that argument for Judge as well. But I do think that the Yankees have better run producers on their team than Seattle did for almost all of the year until they went and traded for Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor.
I also think Cal probably gets hurt by the fact that I honestly think he has a better teammate because Julio had another 30-30 season.
That's true.
He was one of the best hitters in baseball in the
But
second
but
half.
here's the thing. Does anybody know that?
I think there are a lot of people that know Julio is a really good baseball player.
No, I think people know that he's a good baseball player, but unless you're like looking at what the rest of his team did, if you see a highlight of Seattle, and because how many people are watching Seattle games? Not many. They're super late at night. They're hardly on TV. Unless you're in that area, you're not seeing them other than
And
highlights.
they're not a big market either.
No. And what happens every time you see a Seattle highlight on SportsCenter, ESPN, wherever you're watching your stuff? It's
It's
Cal
Cal
Raleigh
Raleigh
hitting
hitting home
bombs. Nobody sees what Julio's doing because Julio quietly had an awesome season. Plus, he's an elite center fielder. He's awesome. But you don't see that in that. All you see is Cal Raleigh hitting bombs and the number count for him. So I don't know that a lot of people realize how good Julio Jones, talking football, and I'm
We
getting
talked about football all night.
um, how good of a season Julio Rodriguez had because of the media attention Seattle gets, and when they are on TV, you didn't see him. You saw Cal Raleigh. He was the face, and that's all they showed were his highlights.
I will rebuff that with, whenever you see a Yankees highlight, what do you normally see? You normally see
You
Aaron
do
Judge.
see Jones, but you don't always see Aaron Judge.
I
You also
and
see a lot of defenders making errors and
which
terrible pitching.
I think that helps Aaron Judge's case.
No, because he's not
And
in the outfield.
I've I forgot Jazz Chisholm went 30-30 this year too.
Exactly.
There
Jazz
were
also had a great
there
season.
were 8 players, I think, that went 30-30 this year, which
That's
is, I
crazy.
think the previous record was 4. Um it was either 7 or 8 players, cuz I think the most recent one was I think it was PCA, but
Yeah,
yeah,
against the
Jet
Cardinals, that was very sad.
yeah, Jazz Chisholm went 30-30 this year too, and I don't know if he's a premium second baseman, but he's a good defensive second baseman.
When he's at second, I think he is a premium player at second. When he's at third, he is not.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think if you look at either of them, I don't think either of these teams make the playoffs if you take either of them off of their team.
I mean, Judge missed time, and it hurt them,
The Yankees
but
were
they
bad.
stayed. They weren't great, but they stayed in the race still. I don't know what Seattle does without Cal Raleigh.
He also only missed, like, completely missed 10 games. He played 152 games this year. He had 95 in right field, and he had 57 at DH. Cal Raleigh, I believe, played 161. He
Exactly,
had 121 behind the plate and 40 at DH. I believe those are.
and
I know
that's
that those. I know those numbers are right with Aaron Judge,
and
but
those that's a big workload for a catcher. Like that's not normal for catchers these days to get 140 games anymore. So if you're over 100 games behind the dish, that's a big deal.
he played 159 games this year,
Okay,
and he had played 121 at catcher, so he had DH 38 of them.
that's awesome.
I would prefer if Cal Raleigh won. I think Cal Raleigh deserves it because I think there's a world where we see what Aaron Judge is doing again, I don't think we will ever see
I
a
kind of do.
a switch hitting catcher in the hardest ballpark to hit in baseball hit 60 home runs again.
Who also was a Platinum Glove player last year.
Yeah. At the
The
most
most
important position.
premium position in baseball. That is the quarterback of baseball.
I would prefer to see Cal win it. I think they're both very deserving. I really wish one of them played in the National League because then they could both win
You don't
it.
want to see Otani win it
No,
again.
no, because he is a full on DH.
It's fair. I mean, Schwarber could win it and be a full on DH too. So
Well, the NL winner is going to be a full on DH. Is it going to be? It's most likely going to be Otani.
it's
If
kind of close.
anyone else gets votes, it's going to be Schwarber.
Yeah, it's a sad day. I hate the DH.
A couple other things that we need to talk about real quick. ABS. It will be
Oh,
in effect in 2026.
let's go. Hey, all you butthurt umps, suck it.
CB Buckner.
Freaking the worst.
I
Oh, they tapped on their helmet, tossing them out of the game. Well, maybe if you didn't suck at your job and call pitches right down the middle of balls and pitch a foot and a half outside a strike, we wouldn't have gotten to this point because you are horrific and no one can hold you accountable and you think you are the game and the center of attention. We now have the ABS. So screw you, and I'm tired of seeing you. Get over it. You blow at your job. Get better. And this is why there's ABS. Tapping helmet all day.
You see, I'm a little old school. I kind of like the arguments. Um,
Oh, and speaking of this, since we're going back and changing things, can we give the perfect game back?
to Galarraga,
Yeah, Colorado.
Armando Galarraga. He was the one in Detroit that it was the ground ball. He clearly made it to first, and Jim
Was it
Joyce.
Colorado that did it?
Yeah,
Yes.
who'd you think it was?
Yes, it was. I don't know. Galarraga, I was just thinking of a different Galarraga that was not a pitcher.
You were thinking of Andres Galarraga.
Yeah, man, I was throwing my brain for a minute. It's been a lot of years. But since we're fixing things in replay, can we just go ahead and give him the perfect game he deserves?
I agree, but they'll never happen.
Also,
He
if we're doing that, can we go back to the '85 World Series and fix that out?
give retroactively give the Cardinals another World Series win.
Yeah, we'll take our 12, please. That we were screwed out of.
The Royals need it.
No, they don't. They've gotten one since then.
We we have 11. They have two.
I don't care.
Take one of theirs.
Don't care. Call the
Um,
game right, and we wouldn't have this issue.
yeah, I like arguments. I'm gonna miss. I'm not gonna like the fact that there's gonna be a lot less of them. Oliver Marmol will still find a way to
Oh,
get tossed.
I think there's going to be arguments because I think umps and players, when they get a call right or wrong, I think they're going to chirp at each other, and I can't wait for the umpires to find a new way to be butthurt and try to be the center of attention.
Well,
Also,
I
I hope this forces CB Buckner to retire because he hates his life so much. Because he is a horrific at his job. Like, there's normal people who must be decent at their jobs to not get fired, and then there's weathermen who only have to be right like 7 times out of the entire year, and then there's CB Buckner below them.
he's got a 90 something percent accuracy rate,
There,
but
I saw a
league
stat.
average in the league I think is like 95.
I don't care. He's
So
terrible. I saw a stat the other day that there was over 1,000 missed calls in 1 week of baseball. This is why there's ABS.
yeah, if league average accuracy rate in balls and strikes is 95% and you have 89, 88, it's bad. And I'm assuming that's roughly what the numbers look like. Because
He's terrible at his job.
I think the trend that I have tended to see is the older umpires have generally been worse
Bad.
at calling balls and strikes. Like I think Laz Diaz is pretty
He's
low right
terrible.
now. Before Joe West retired, he was towards the
Awful.
bottom.
Angel
CB,
Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez, Bob Davidson,
They're terrible.
uh,
and they wanted to be
And
the
right
center
now,
of attention and throw people for no reason because they were butthurt that they can't call it and anyone called them on their crap. Bye. Get out.
and I brought up Oliver Marmol because I think we'll see a lot of so something. If you've never watched a Cardinal game, Oliver Marmol gets upset whenever he has to use his challenges on
Stupid things.
stupid things because you never really know what New York is going to come up with on the
Because
re-
they're bad sometimes. Straight up
so
you can see and they're wrong and they just stick with it.
yeah, so you don't want to lose your challenge on a call that should be obvious to everyone, but because there isn't clear and convincing evidence, you're sorry, hand gesture. I got a hand gesture notification on
Don't
this.
stop
It's the
air
first
quoting
time I've seen
things.
that. Because there's not clear and convincing evidence, you lose your challenge. So
Yeah.
Ollie gets pissed whenever he has to use his challenge. I remember there was I guess it was probably last season. We were playing the Brewers, and I think it was on Mother's Day or something like that. And there were like five missed calls or something, and
Oh, it was bad. I remember this
all of
game.
them went the
They're
card.
wrong.
All the replays went the Cardinals' way, but he started chirping at the umpires, and he got thrown out because he was
He had
like,
to use
"Can
so
we
many
get a parlay?"
challenges back to back to back. It was
It might have
ridiculous.
been this year. It was because him and Descalso both got tossed.
Yeah. It was bad. I
Um,
remember that.
so I do think we'll still see that, especially from guys that are more fiery like Ali.
Well, I just hope that because we've tested the system, we kind of know how it works with spring training. I hope they do it like tennis. And if you guys don't watch tennis, when they have the VR replay, it goes up on the big screen and they show the ball in slow mo by the line, and then they zoom in on where it hits. I'm hoping that's what our ABS system looks like. They put it up on the big scoreboard. They show the pitch coming in. They show it with the whatever the strike zone, and they show it
Mhm.
where it's hitting, and if it's touching the line or in, we're good. And then everyone sees it, and there's no argument about it.
It's going to be roughly like that because that's how it was during spring training. The only issue they've really had is the height of the strike zone because I
Yeah,
think on low balls and strikes they weren't
yeah.
super
It
accurate.
because it's got to change per batter. It can't just be one set strike zone.
Yeah,
That's my
and,
problem. Like Aaron Judge's strike zone and Jose Altuve's should not be the same looking strike zone for the ABS.
yeah, and that's why they remeasured everyone this year, and they made sure everyone's height is accurate to the fraction of an inch, so they know exactly where like the height of the strike zone should be. So hopefully it is still entertaining, but also has a better effect on the outcomes of the games
Yeah,
because as frustrating as it'll be to not see as many ejections because again those are fun, it's even more frustrating to see
bad calls
a
change
really
the
good
game.
game end on a bad call.
Yeah. And for those people who are watching this and don't know anything about the ABS system that we're talking about, it is a replay system for balls and strikes. Literally, the batter, the pitcher, or the coach are able at any point. The
Bat,
coach is not anymore.
batter,
Batter,
pitcher, or
pitcher,
catcher, those are the only
or
three.
that's what I meant, not coach. Batter, pitcher,
Basically
catcher.
coach, but
Yeah, basically, is allowed to do the helmet tap or the hat tap, which was getting them thrown out of the game this year because refs are butthurt or umps are butthurt.
well the league gave them direct orders that if someone is tapping their helmet because that's how you say you want to challenge
We freaking get over it.
immediately after the pitch, either the
Tap
pitcher,
the
the
hat.
catcher, or the hitter can tap their head, and
That
that will
green flag.
trigger the video board
Mhm.
saying
Hey,
and
we
the
need to
rules
replay
testing.
this. Yeah. And so they were all butthurt because when they were making just horrific calls, batters would give their little helmet a tap as you screwed that one up, and they were getting all butthurt and throwing people for that, which is soft as all get out. We're turning into NBA refs giving techs for bouncing a ball and being mad. Get out of
or
here.
or
Honest.
NFL reps and NFL refs for giving roughing the passer on like
for
you tap the
for,
top of their
for
head.
breathing on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So that's what the ABS is going to be. I'm excited for it because I'm tired of seeing these horrific calls by umpires that are just so bad. Um, there is a limit though. You can't do it every single
Super game.
pitch forever. You get two per game um, for the entire team. If
And
you
if
are
you
right, you keep it. If
yeah.
you're wrong, you lose it. So if you do one very first pitch of the game, tap that helmet. It's right down the middle. You thought it was a ball. It's still a strike. You now have one for the rest of the entire game. Once you lose your second one, you're done. You don't get any more. You are at the mercy of the umps as you were before. Um, so it's still the umps calling the game. That's not changing because there was talk at one point of where it was all going to be ABS, where it was just going to be the strike zone. They were going to tell the ump what it was, and they were going to call it right after.
Yeah, I
That's
hate
not
that.
what's happening. That's not what's happening here. That would slow the game down way too much. As much as I would like them to get every call right, it would just add so much time, and that's what baseball's trying to avoid. They want to get it right, but they want the game to stay sped up as it's been. So I'm excited for ABS. Um, I'm excited for this off season. I think that's going to get a little wild and crazy. Um, but I think we've got some baseball to look forward to on Tuesday. I believe the first game starts at 1 Eastern, so noontime for us. And we're gonna get rolling to see who's gonna be crowned the World Series champion this year.
Yeah. Last things I want to mention real quick because there was a little bit more news that happened since last time we talked. Couple retirements.
Oh,
Charlie Morton
oh yeah.
played his last game today. He got claimed by the Braves, so he can make one more start and retire as a Brave. So he's had a very up and down career, but ever since the mid 2010s, whenever he was with the Astros, they really revitalized his career,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been a great pitcher in his late 30s and early 40s. But the bigger one, no offense to Charlie, the bigger one, Clayton Kershaw announced his
And
retirement,
Kershaw is done.
and he pitched his last regular season game today. Freddie Freeman was actually the one that took him out of the game, which I think was a fun little thing that they do. I liked it more when like Jeter and Pettit came out to take Mo out for the last time. But yeah, he was the pitcher of my childhood. He got called up to the big leagues around the time I started watching baseball. A little bit after that, I think, because I think he got called up in '08 or something, somewhere around there. And I was 8 years old. I think I started watching baseball when I was like 5. Um, so I've basically never known baseball without Clayton Kershaw being one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game. Um, easy,
May, yeah, May of
easy,
'08.
yeah, easy first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers of all time. Um,
Second
we
best
obviously,
lefty of all time.
huh?
Second best lefty of all time. Third.
I'd have to really think about that.
It's really him, Sandy, and Randy are the three you got to talk about.
Steve Carlton too.
And Carlton. Okay, so four. One of the four best lefties of all time.
Yeah. Obviously, we have a fondness for him in St. Louis because
So does
we
Matt
have,
Adams.
yeah, so we have a lot of memories. Matt Adams with his home run, Matt
Oh,
Carpenter and his big hit
it's
in
always the lefties against
2013, I
him in the
think.
playoffs.
And that kind of gave we were able to give him a little bit of crap for that, but he got a really bad rep for
He did. I
playoff
mean, he did struggle in the
performances
playoffs,
too.
though. Like, it was fair.
He did, but he also won 2 World Series. He has a chance for a third this year,
One and an
and
asterisk. I
uh,
don't count COVID World Series.
he still pitched well throughout that playoffs, which was the longest playoffs the league's ever had. The season was 2 months long, and the playoffs were a month and a half long.
Yeah, which is why I don't count it. 2.5 month season, no.
Um, but yeah, Clayton Kershaw retiring is kind of bittersweet
An
because
end of an era.
yeah, he kind of looked like a dog that needed to get put down, and he,
Oh, don't say
for,
that.
uh, yeah, um, he
I've
was,
had 2 dogs put down in 2 months. It's been a rough time for my family, so let's not use that reference.
yeah, my bad. Uh, but he was kind of limping towards the end,
He was.
and he still pitched great. He
I
like
mean,
or
he's been
pitched
limping
well.
for a few seasons.
He still pitched well. He was just struggling with a lot of injuries, which he's 38 years old,
I
I
mean,
think
but
now.
what Dodgers pitcher isn't the last decade?
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun watching him pitch in the postseason for the last time.
As
And
Schwarber hits a bomb off of him because it's got to be a lefty.
you never want to see
Or
the
harder.
Dodgers. You never want to see the Dodgers
Never want to see him win.
succeed, but you
Yeah.
also want to see success for a guy at the end of his career.
Yeah, it's hard because as a Cardinals fan, I we've had a lot of battles with the Dodgers, and we've had a lot of success against Kershaw. Um, and it's something that's hard to see at the end of careers of these legends, and I'm going to call him that because he is one of those guys. Like anytime you're talking about a top five pitcher, I mean he's a lefty, but one of those guys that's up there in the
He's
history
a
book.
he's an inner circle Hall of Famer.
100%. You don't want to see those guys' careers end just badly, where they just struggle to get through it. Like I wanted Scherzer to go out before he did because it just looked rough the last couple of years. So I'm hoping this year he can kind of fix it and it looks decent in the playoffs and he can go out like that. I don't think he will. I think he wants to pitch more, but it's hard watching these greats, especially if it's your team. The Dodgers aren't my team, but watching Adam Wainwright a couple of years ago go out the way he did when that's a guy who's nothing but class and he was everything to an organization. He's our equivalent, basically, just not as elite. Um, it's hard to watch that as a fan, and so you want to go see him go out on top. You want to see him go out pitching as well as they can, but that usually doesn't happen. Um, so for Dodgers fans, I hope he has a good postseason, and I hope they lose. So he can pitch well, and they can lose, and I can be okay with that. But it doesn't matter how he goes out. He, like you said, is a multi-World Series champ. He is one of the best lefties to ever pitch in baseball history, and he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
3 Cy Youngs.
Is that it?
I think he's won three, and then he's came in second like 3 or 4 more times or something along those lines. I think, and I believe he also does. He have 3,000
Four.
strikeouts. I think he
He's
came
got
short.
he's got four
He's
Cy
got
Young.
four.
11, 13, 14, and 17.
And did he? How many strikeouts? How many wins? How many strikeouts? All that stuff. Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah, I can get it real quick. I'm on Baseball Reference. Let's see. Not last 5 games. Oh my gosh, is this right? 18 years. He has an ERA of 2.54 with a win-loss record of 222 and 96. And he's got 25 complete games, 15 shutouts. He pitched 2,850 innings with 3,045 strikeouts.
Yeah, I I don't know if we're ever going to see a guy get 3,000 again because I think Scherzer is already past it. I think
I
Verlander's
think we
already
will.
passed. I don't know if
I think
anyone's
the
going to
way
get the innings.
baseball, I think the way baseball is trended, pitchers are still getting 7 to 10 strikeouts and 5 innings pitched these days. Batters don't care about strikeouts. It's not like the old days where it was put the ball in play and strikeouts were viewed as a huge negative. They're viewed as any other out now. It doesn't matter. So I think, you might see some of these young guys that are coming up. Like, you can't tell me you don't think Paul Skeens doesn't have a chance to get to 3,000. He
I
started really
again,
young, and he's already put up multiple 200 strikeout seasons, and he's like
so
19.
he's 23.
Gosh, he's that old already? I thought he was like 19.
He was drafted out of college.
Either way,
Um,
you give him. 13 more years and he gets 200 strikeouts, he's at 3,000. And that's if he only pitches 13 years.
So since 2021, the league leaders in strikeouts have generally hovered around 250. That's the league leader, which I think the exceptions to that rule was 2024. Tarek Skubal had 228, and 2023 Spencer Strider had 281. So it levels out to about 250 a season. So you're probably,
There are 23,000 strikeout guys in the history of baseball.
and if you look at their innings, they're probably going to end with higher numbers than guys that are in this era of
We
baseball.
talk about the most ridiculous one is that Nolan Ryan has 5,714 strikeouts. That's absolutely insane.
He also pitched 27 seasons, I think.
Yeah, he's also a freak of nature. So,
Yeah, he made his debut at 18 or 19 and pitched till he was
I
46.
mean, but Randy Johnson had almost 5,000 as well.
Yeah, and he was a late bloomer. I don't think he
Mhm.
actually had success till he was like 25.
Yeah,
But he also pitched till he was 45, which again, we're
yeah. Again, same thing. But you've got
just
four 4,000 and 23,000 and one 5,000.
yeah.
So it'll be hard.
Yeah, Justin Verlander is planning on pitching till he's 45, but it
I
depends
mean,
on
he
if
could get. How old is he right now? 41,
he's
42.
42 or 43.
Okay, so if he's got 3 years,
He's already
if
at
he
3,000, I believe.
if he averaged 115 for or no, like 140 for the next 3 years, he could get to 4,000. He's not
Yeah,
going to. He's at
Justin
35,
Verlander.
53.
Yeah, Justin Verlander is going to turn 43 around the time spring training starts
Oh
next
yeah,
year.
so he's got 2 more years. He
Uh,
would need,
three,
yeah.
43, 44, 45 if he gets
If he has
contract.
if he has 2 years, he needs 447. So that's not happening. He would need probably 4 more years to get to the 4,000 mark, and I don't
Yeah.
think anyone wants that.
I think those are what he's going for is he wants to get 300 wins and he wants to get 4,000 strikeouts. But he also has around a strikeout an inning for his big league career.
That's
So
great.
like he has 3,567 strikeouts or 3,567 and two-thirds innings pitched,
Oh,
3,553 strikeouts. So it's
it's only
8.9
going to
split.
decrease now.
I think Ks per nine will go up, but I think innings will go down. And I think that's going to be the issue. Um, I don't know who would do it. Cole, I don't think has enough time to do it. Skeens depends on how long he pitches, I guess.
I think Skeens is probably the next person that we're going to talk about possibly getting there.
In 15 years,
Yeah,
20 years.
13 at least. 13 to 15 years is where I have it. Probably 13. I have 13.
Yeah, but I think that is where we're probably going to call it for the day. Uh, Obviously, with us doing baseball on a Monday, probably going to be moving some things around with the schedule. But hopefully, we have a close to full schedule this week. That is what we're hoping. Cody is going to be talking about hockey this week, whether he has a co-host or not.
It's happening.
We have,
He's either on and we're doing it, or he's fired and I'm getting somebody else, and I'm still talking hockey this week.
yeah, Cody will be talking about hockey regardless. I believe we'll have another basketball episode. Uh,
UFC needs to happen.
UFC does need to have. We're taking our wins bit
I
by
believe
bit.
you've got a fight this weekend, so
We do, don't we? Is UFC 321 this week? Or UFC, yeah,
320.
UFC 320.
Yeah, it's October 4th. UFC 320. You've got Pereira versus Ankalaev
I wonder
for
if
light
Ken
heavyweight.
remembers that. So yeah, I think we'll have a full week this week.
Woo!
So as time goes on, we're only going to get more consistent.
That's the plan. The plan is to have a full week.
I will make sure we get this fight one done. Cody
And
will make sure we get.
yeah, we'll get hockey now. Spoiler alert for those of you who have hung in there with us this full hour today. There are and still being had talks of possibly throwing college football and college basketball in there from time to time as well.
There are. We will
So we're
try.
working on it.
Yeah. If you guys want to see that,
Let us know.
it will let us know. It'll only help if we get more. The more support we get, because the more support we get, the more time we will end up being able to make for this.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we all have jobs. We all have full time jobs now.
Too
Uh,
many jobs.
we all have careers, and we would love to make this a career, but we also just love talking about sports. That's why we do it. If we can do this for a living, I technically do this for a living already, but
Sorry, students that are watching. If we can make this a full time career and I get paid more than teaching, I'm out.
yeah, I technically already do this for a living, but I'd love to do it here.
It'd be great.
Um,
Let's make it a thing. We were Athletes Once podcast, the next big sports podcast. Let's go. Like, subscribe, comment, interact with us. Tell us what you want. We'll make it happen.
yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. So we will see you guys tomorrow. We will be talking about NFL, and hopefully tomorrow's games are better than we think they will be. So we will see you guys next time.
See you.